Oh, where you watch? Look where you watch. Know where you watch. Choose the right thing to watch. And this enough to watch. Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gargan, Facebook and YouTube. And that enough to watch. The movie star fly take off from Palpatine TV said that. Boom!
A big sound, a play a big tune.
Ja Holy Emmanuel, I woy. Ja Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. Well, Gideon go busting out them head again. So much oppression, poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther and the ancient monarchy where come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from me tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well, the Gideon go busting out them head. I listen, I see, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we know war, not every...
Blow, Mr. Gargan, blow! Blow till me dance up me toe!
This is Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gargan. Good, healthy food with the X Factor. So give it a like, share, subscribe, and touch up that notification bell. And that is it. Look at that.
What a shame. And that's why I see them can't like these people, you know. And then one comments again say, is he the same Rupert that represented the JLP in 1989?
The murder rate is down by 13.1%. So let me correct myself. Not 14%, but 13%. But you are saying it's closer to 4%. Explain where you have now gotten that statistic.
Deliver me from my enemy, my God. Set me an eye from those who rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity. Save me from the bloodthirsty men. For behold, the lion wait for my soul. The mighty gather themselves together against me, not for my disobedience, not for my sin, Lord. I have done no wrong, yet they are ready to attack me. Rise up, behold, and help me. You, Lord God of armor, the God of Israel, rouse yourself to punish the nation. Show no mercy to the wicked, traitor, sealer. They return at evening, howling like dogs, and prowl around the city. Behold, they spat with their mouth, so they are in their lips, for they say, Who art us? But you, Lord, laugh at them, you scruff of all the nation. O my strength, I wish for you, for God is my high tower. My God will go before me with his loving kindness. God will let me look at my enemy in triumph. Don't kill them, or my people may forget. Scatter them by their power, and bring them down, Lord, our shield. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them be catched in their pride. For the curses and lie which they utter, consume them in wrath, consume them, and they will be no more. Let them know that God rules in Jacob to the ends of the earth. Selah. At evening let them return, let them howl like a dog, and go around the city. They shall wander up and down for food, and wait all night, if they ain't satisfied. But I will sing of your strength, yes, I will sing aloud of your loving kindness in the morning, for you have been my high tower, a refuge in the day of my distress. To you, my strength, I will sing praises, for God is my high tower, the God of my mercy, Selah. Up and running, up and gunning. Sticky Stucky Sweet TV, Keith Gargan. Cassava, passava, mind over matter, up and running. Right about now, we're going to talk about them two battle whale from Nationwide. One of them Savannah and him little batty whale friend. I'm not deal with them, you know, because I see them come out on the protest and I try to... the thing is this again. First, I don't know why Rupert Francis really give them an interview, you know. Because we don't need them, you know, because them just got to undermine the whole thing. And that I say I go on, really. They undermine the whole thing, really. So I don't know why I'm really have to go over. So I don't need them. Because them now go really deal with no truth or nothing. They're biased. They are the government really machine. But these two battle whale, the one in Savannah and things like that, they can see them come and them really talk some bullshit and talk about this and talk about that and talk about crime gone down and rate and the man I try to explain to them and you know, even give them a chance, you know, them just go all over him and things like that. Can see this is really a labor right machine, you know. And I don't know why people in them right sense want to. It better you have to go to cause you have bloggers, you know, where really, cause you have people like even Andrew Stephen will interview Rupert Francis and give him a fair interview, not one-sided, where people can really put them question over and answer in the right and proper way. But for something, if somebody asks something, you ask my question, and you all over them and things like that, and you even allow them to finish, you can't see where it's coming from. So, and you know, I'm look on the comments, I'm like to check them things, and that's why I'm really go come say something on this. Because them people, you know, because one comment really like this, it's a damn shame that Rupert he's an old man. I mean, hear that, you know, we can't say them people, you know. So I want to ask a question now. Horace Strong is not 72-year-old. Eh? Them people are really out there, you know. And then you have Delroy Chuck at 73. You have Favour Williams at 65. Carl Samud at 82. You have all dead man Mackenzie at 71. Right? And you got to talk about where's the rascal? What that have to do with nothing. Them so corrupt and nasty that's them of you are bringing all these slackness in it. Like, what you have to do with this thing? That more have to know. Adley Shaw is what? 72. Oliver Babsy Green is 78. And you come to about, Rupert Francis is an old man. What a shame. And that's why I see them can't like these people, you know. And then one comments again say, is he the same Rupert that represented the JLP in 1989? If it's even him, so what? What that have to do with nothing? Because so that means that this man is a decent man. Because this is what I try to show you, say these people just come talk a lot of rascal bullshit and things like that, you know. That's why you have to stand up and give the people them, that's why you have people cross board, you know. That's why that me say 2 conservative members cross the board over Labour because they don't like what them own government to do. So you talk about if he was the man who represented JLP in 1980. Look how long 89, look how long that. So what? The man that foreign now and him's a part of the diaspora, right? And him see things in the right. And when I try to ridicule him and fuck, yeah, I'm going to tell you something, people. Who is a nastiness on the people. Because we can't understand and want to deal with, really. Because in the end of the day, this interview don't make no sense. It's just one-sided. And I can't see where it really is, to be truthful. Because if we try to do everything and the process was a successful protest. Because one break the law. One is not the real diaspora. The diaspora one have our foreign is appoint them. So that's why one not talking to the real diaspora. Rupert Francis is the real diaspora. Right? But you don't want to deal with him because he's going to talk the truth. He's not gonna jump on no umbrella and do the shit and know so we not do shit. So we don't like them people. Right? We don't like them people. So we come and talk a lot of shit. Nationwide, when the bug not housing nothing, him send out him like a nasty batty wheel them, like the one named Savannah, right? He's a big dirty piece of chink. Cause something when me talk about the crime drop and crime this and crime that, and the next day again him say this government spend the most money on crime. Money alone, they spend the most money and people are dead that drop like fly. So you see, for them argument, they make no sense, you know. Even somebody we can't spell them name would know. So then people that talk beer bullshit. Because you couldn't, them talk about them spending most money. So what that have to do with nothing? So them spending most money on them. So what happened to the crime? And I don't want to tell lies, so well then crime drop. Crime not drop. Right? Crime don't drop. I'm going to play a piece with Muta Baruka, where him talk the things them. And the facts that. But in our life, you hear them things there. You just want to cook up something and try to keep the JLP machine running and circling like an idiot. Right? Imagine that, you know. But it's one thing, you know, me I say right now, come hear this thing. Come see the interview, you know, I say, you know, I'll click on it and see what go on. Come on, I'm saying if any balance in it. Because sometimes, you know, the reason I say that, you know, because other day I see Cliff Hughes come out and him big up Mark Golden in the poll and things like that, and him come out and him say, well, then Mark Golden had deal certain things. So you never really bias. So I see this interview now with the protest at America other day in Florida. I say, well, let me hear what go on. So, because, you know, Rupert might interview him. But the man eradicate him. What we are telling you, you know, it's a shame, you know, brother. Because, you know, at the end of the day, they don't know, but it's like, them people they're not ashamed. So it's like, Cliff Hughes come out on him, but it look like him, when him so ashamed now, he can't really, because I'm trying to talk up good. Come on, guys, Cliff Hughes, you know, him see the truth, you know, and sometimes he can't, him have to just come out and talk, you know. So you have to give him a little props to that sometimes. But him have him little batty wheel them now. One who named Savannah. I don't know the next one name, because they look like them a twin. Them is definitely a twin from a different, I don't know. But, you know, species, whatever you want to call it. But them is two, because them sound so horrible. And then our next guy who phone in again, in my part, well, everybody know him. What name? I try me they want blood club is with him name, because you see them name, even if you call them name, you have to wash out your fucking mouth, yeah, man. Believe you me. In at the end of the day, listen to this interview, and I say right now, the only thing me blame Rupert Francis for is to really go up on them platform. You know, if you don't want to, if no big station interview, don't worry, man. You have good bloggers out there, really. You can have a good reason with. You don't want a bloggers theater. You want things to open up the things, and you can answer the question them in a respectable way, but not an unbalanced and unbiased way, like how them people have put it. And not give you no time to talk and explain yourself. And I push it down and things like that. And I go and I say, well then, oh yeah, the government are do good in a crime and all these fucking things. And when me hear the guy come talk about them if you don't believe, if you don't agree, so the government spend the most money on crime. So what that have to do with nothing? Crime not go down. Crime worse and worse. So me no understand. I'm not in them fuck around and deal with, because when just a little batty wheel, and that's all me can say. Me have to style up, really wicked now, because get on top of my nerves, and me can really me can't really have no intelligence about we talk about in an intelligent way at all. Me have to just start brawling and talk as it come to me without no filter. Yeah, man, that me see, and that's how me see it, because it don't make no sense to how really spin things and one-sided. I want to keep on doing it. So I'm going to say, so Cliff Hughes have him two little batty wheel and when him send out to do him dirty work, because him can't come, even if him come as a proprietor, him have to come a little more better, And I try to do that from other days still, because him knows the people are watching him. And I'm going to go until a station they fall like a tumbling rascals flying saucer. Watch. Just flying saucer fly, and it was King what you call it? King Pupalik, and just flip over and boom and crash in the ground. And that I go up to that station there. PMP get into power. And that more say happen to them, because the end of the day, them people them too horrible, them too one-sided, them too corrupted in everything them do. They never see the truth. And the country cannot run like that. not too unbalanced. The Gleaner unbalanced. All the media them at Jamaica, all the big station, them they just on one side. And them not, if them alone to report things what go on, then cover it up. Because you have no, even the fucking thing that happened the other day where them say they find some drug bus in a Portland. Is a blogger send it out. And the blogger there go mind himself. Because them know him not gonna take him out, you know. Because no mainstream media no carry that story, you know. Apart from the blogger send it out a road and then the blogger them take it up. There's a little common man send it out, you know, video and send it out, you know. So nobody won't even hear about that. So this is a me I say, oh, Jamaica can't run like that. No mainstream media, no interested in nothing. All them interested in it talk about road and highway and rate and lele, but they not talk about nothing and the shit where the government them really deal with. So I don't understand. And when these little nonsense come out and talk like this. But all me can see, them can't talk because them a shoot themselves on them own foot. And them a get desperate and desperate and desperate more. And desperate more. And that's all them a do. Because in the end of the day, it was a good turnout, right? Good turnout because you have to have a certain amount of people have to, because Rattigan say, well then, the police ask him how much people him think, and he say might be 100. And then the police even say, well then, he will make space for 200 people. But them can't really protest on the sidewalk. So they make place for them. And the place was packed out. And in the end, over 300 people was there. And people come late. People they all about around the place. So it's a very successful protest against the government. And those are the true and real diaspora, right? We're concerned about Jamaica. Would like to come back to Jamaica and do something. But what's going on on this scale? Because, boy, I tell you, it's a crime rate that turn up. And then people have the audacity to come talk about crime drop. Every time they come in and like a shit and take people for idiot. Right? Crime drop. Boy, I tell you, you have wrestler, people like Google Gaga, Anderson. Get a bag of money for not doing nothing. Get a razor pay. This guy must have end up to get about over $18 million plus allowance. Free this, free that. And don't do nothing. So him get paid to underperform. Just like Horace Chang. That's like a sleepy boy there, that's Horace Chang. And he's a criminal as well. Money launderer and gun trafficker. Him know all the hustler gang them, much 100 gang him have operating in Jamaica. Him know them, so him say, and me say so. And still yet him can't, where we are telling you, And the government, Andrew Wellness, still have him there. And I get all these razor pay and big money for not doing nothing. So Jamaica, I tell you, I'm telling you people, it's a very sad and sticky situation. Yeah, man. You see them things there. But anyway, what me I say, the good always prevail. No matter what them try to do. And because them under pressure, wicked pressure too. And, as I'm saying, there's a crack there. And you have this nastiness again. Like a Nesta Dick Morgan come out and come talk some shit. I thought him get quiet the other day. But you have, as I'm saying, me say something the other day about him not carrying no secret in grave. And he made that statement. And I think when he made that statement and the Prime Minister hear that, he put him in a position again because all of a sudden him there in a foreign. So this is it, when him come out, Hamilton do the same thing the other day. And then Hamilton come out, see them have the biggest mouth now because them get award to do because they know if they make the money go up on the loose, then finish quicker than how things happen. Trust me. Yeah, so all of a sudden, stinking Nesta Morgan have mouth again. I don't want to hear him. And him come out attack at the end, attack some shit and things like that. And the government is really fool government. I tell you that, Really a fool government. Believe you me, people. And in the end of the day, what me see, as I'm saying, me just click on this nationwide thing. I'm say Rupert Francis, they interview him. I thought it was Cliff Hughes, but then again, this is Batty Whale, one we call Savannah or whatever, and him twin. They just come down him and they feel so comfortable and things as a joke and things like that. And yeah, let me tell you something, these people, they are sick. Somewhere or the other, they are sick. They must suffer from some mental issue or something. There are mad people in a clean clothes. That's all I'm saying. Because they're all mad and wellness government. Because they're not mad, everybody couldn't really under the same umbrella and cover over everything like that. There's nobody no come out. When it's a Conservative Party in England, you have people across the board to Labour. And you talk with the people who are across to Labour, you know. And like a backbencher people, people high up in you know what I mean? You don't call it right wing, right? But they don't agree with the government, especially upon the immigration, and they really both watch smuggling in England with all these illegal immigrants. So she crossed the board because she said, well, then, you know, Labour will do a better job. But all of these things were going on the Labour Party with Anna and Julius. Everybody same doing good. Nobody no criticize him. I never see that yet in the government. I see it happen. I see it happen. I see things in America, politics, where if the Republican are going with fuckery, yeah, people speak out. So the Democratic, they will speak out. It happened all the while. Only Jamaica, and this, well, especially under this Andrew Wellness lead government. I don't know what keep them so sweet. Because the government so corrupted, everybody just can do what they want to do. Get the contract what they want. Everybody get rotten rich, you know. All the MP them, you know. Every one of the MP them. So that's why them keep so quiet and defend the government. Keep on defending the undefendable every time. You know what I mean? And boy, sometimes it make you hear them turn up in you if you have any ear. Well, you know, me have a ear for my head, me have a ear for my foot. So, you know, me's not a ball head on that level. So, you know, me hear them stand up and they stand up like, wow, when we hear these people, how them behave. And it's fucking sickening, man. You know what I mean? Because it don't make no sense. And them can't see the wrong what them do. But I hope, you know, and I hope, you know, me I tell you this, you know, me not really want Mark Wallen coming at this shit. Him not really leave no stone unturned, you know. And make them people get away with it, you know. They're supposed to investigate it properly. And who got jail. But, you know, one day, me not really matter about that, you know. And that is something which worry me bad. Because if them come out and not really do nothing about it, that means that them all the same. And you can't trust politicians, right? You can't trust politicians. Because it have to be argument. You have to be words with works, not word without works. And I just saw me see it. So I really want to see him come in, Mark Wallen, get the chance, and then him forget about all of what them used to deal with and go on like a business as usual. And then people get away with the scotch-free. But anyway, the eyes is here out and looking, you know, and the ears out wide open, you know, waxing in nobody's ears. And we're going to hear what go on and we're going to see what go on. Because, boy, we want to see what go on if we're going to let them off. Because too much criminal in the party, man. Everybody are criminal, you know. Everybody is criminal. You just take for instance now, all the speakers them and Andrew Wellness government, they are criminal. If I may tell you, you know. You have the one named Tavares. Him a criminal. Where the brother named Pa, but them kill there. Well, film daughter breed for Pa, dog Pa, right? And then brother come talk about them thief 2 guns from him and all this fucking shit. Corruption, that boy, the name, yeah. And then you have Pernell Charles again, a speaker, former speaker. He's a criminal. Because much 150 acre land, at 250 acre land in Tifa, St. Thomas. Boy, I tell them people, all of them are crook. And one in Marisa Delapour, Phil Burke. We can't pronounce her name properly, but you know, that woman we talk about, we have to resign, talk about she never remember, so she buy a top range Mercedes. And then the last but not least, Bigfoot Gillette Wellness. They're all criminal. So I'm not sure it's a criminal party. This is a party here. Criminal party. All of them are criminal. And I cover for one another. They cover enough for them one another. All of them and I eat big food. There's like a politician like even Robert Montague, Flight Green, all them boy there. Then I come where they come from. They never have nothing. You can know so much land them have now and all these business and things where them have people have, you know. And people, a lot of people don't go know unless people want to investigate. But they are stinking rich people. Yeah. Stinking rich. The one named Delroy Chuck is a disgrace to human race. But he's a lawyer. See, he flew up in the face the other day with the DPP. Fieval Williams, she look like she really need to go home or sit down in a rocking chair. Because she look like she half dead. To be truthful, I'm going to just talk it as how I see it. And you have the one named Dead Man Mackenzie. You can see him, I see the sin on him, you know. The sin is on him. Believe you me. So them all criminal. From the senior to the junior minister them all eating big food. All junior, you see, we never talk about Bobby Montague because he's one next one. He's one next one because he's a pedophile. He's up on record and we can't talk it. You're the one of them terror land. He mix up in a gun and murder. And I say so. Anything me I say right now, I can prove it because it's on record. So, you know what I mean? It's out there on record. The gun will kill him on Patrick Bailey house. Them say him provided. Out time consistency. Right? And him come, anyway, me have something, me have video come out on him. But the diaspora, same diaspora thing where him go do and cover up Portia face. That piece of shit. Yo, me tell you something, you know. They're all nastiness, man. Junior and senior, they all making X amount of money from the Jamaican people and they must suffer. Jamaican people that suffer and then don't give a fuck whatever they do. They just want, boy, I tell you, you know. So that's why I say, you know, Market G get into power. Well, you know, me not a man who deal with euphoria, you know. Because me go at different levels. As I say, I'm going to do a video on Mark Wallen as well about him facial, you know, you talk about him beard. Where I say, well, him shouldn't really have a new image and stop go around with all his hair on his face when he want to be Prime Minister. So I don't know. Anyway, that is another video coming soon. So, you know, so all in all, you know, this whole interview, Rupert Francis, one thing me sorry for, and say you should never do, you should never go to nationwide, because it don't make no sense over this. You shouldn't calculate everything them and say, look, you don't need them. Them need you for demonize, you know, for demonize, you know. Yeah, call it demonize. That them need you for do. And that them want to do, try to prove something for you. And you should give them a chance to do that, brother. You have all the friends, but you go Andrew Stephen. Because Andrew Stephen bigger than nationwide right now. And the reason why I say Andrew Stephen partner job bigger than nationwide is because him have, you know, 8,000, 9,000 planning program at night time. Nationwide, we have the half of that. At the quarter, few hundred people. Something like that. And by the end of the day, by Andrew Stephen done him show, he might reach 30,000 viewers in less than 2 days. So I'm bigger than you. So you should go over there and I'm gonna give you a better balanced interview. Believe you me. I'm gonna want to ridicule you like that. More balance it out. So you don't need these people, brother. And sometimes some people make some mistake and I don't know why them do it, And it's so plain to me. That's why I say me think go to the big box, and try, no what I do things and sorry. Prevent is better than cure. So you shouldn't prevent yourself from doing that. Because better right now, you wanna set yourself, just like what I say right now, you're sorry, so you did goddess, because you never need to goddess. Believe you me, coming to see it make no sense at all. More than make yourself sure. Anyway, me no know. But we don't go really bother. We not go really bother but I gotta take one thing from this, and this is what we're gonna take from this, is when them talk about crime gone down and the government spend all these money and they're spending most money and they make a big fuss around that little bit of argument. And so we're gonna make bring in Muta and you're a Muta step on that and twisting up. I'm not gonna know because people respect Muta more than 100, you know what I mean? Yeah man, worldwide and everywhere. So you see, we not bother listening only, Because anybody can see that every day 3, 5 people, 6 people dead, all across the country, by murder. Hoodlum and things like that. Hoodlum and whatever, I kill people. There's something I'm saying what Papa carry this week. Every day the man carry something, it's 2, 3, 4 murder. For sometimes I don't know. I mean, I talk about car accident, because that's not murder, that's just accident. That's when people die. People that die at Jamaica. We're not talking about that. We are talking about deliberately people go for people and pump shot at them. Yeah, man. So, the end of the day, that's how it go, and that's how I see I go on and things like that. So, you see, I don't know what go on if these people really is human being. How the Labour Party be like that. Although people say that's what them used to be before. Them are the wickedest thing in Jamaica from long time. Well, we know that still. Unless we grow up in Jamaica with Siago ruling on a Siago. So, and that's how Andrew get him rascal lesson from. Yeah. And these people gone so far now. They are threatening a Jamaican and also he's a American citizen. And I don't know what them really deal with. Threat is because you can't call anybody any name in a certain way, And that is freedom of speech and things like that. But when you talk about you're going down the road of threatening people, you burn down them house and things like that. If you come at Jamaica and you try to this up Rattigan, I don't know how to pay for it and things like that. This is where labor right really gone. Because this is a dirty one where the women Kirk and what? One of them make a small place them there. He run left Jamaica, call himself dirty labor right. Now you might give them right name and things like that. Me not understand them. And yeah. You might go burn down Rupert Francis' house when he come to Jamaica. I don't know it. That is a wicked threat, That is a threat. If them earth that's trying, let me tell you something. Them labor right no really. When them get out of JLP, that's why them go behave like that. And things like that. I don't understand. And me also hear some people burn out Vegas. Well, it's not just people alone that burn out Vegas. It's Make We Talk TV, Jeffrey Tavares, usher him out of him program. Because Vegas has to go around and make trouble and because when I defend the government for him, one of them, he's one of them as well. He's one of them will agree with all these labor right about burn down house, all them things. Believe you me. Because him not really give a shit. Because when you see Vegas come out and this is not about Vegas, no, but we have to just drop in things where you see it, that burn me. So when Andrew Wallace come out and said, burn him, well, this burn me. You see Vegas come out and come talk about, he want Andrew Wallace to get a third term. A big question sign is there. And, you know, the war, when him vote for he sees the war against the Hamas kids them, and look at old people are dead, him can't no idea upon it. Him just laugh it off and say, well then, Rete and Lele, that guys are somebody. And you know, when we see in the comments again with Vegas, some people are say, I say the same thing already, you know, in a blog, you know. Yeah, man, me say the same thing. Him want awards just like Wayne Marshall. And that's why I need to come out and I talk about Wayne Marshall and what deserve it. But Wayne Marshall try to say, you know, in a reverse psychology, you know, if say him deserve it more. Yeah. And him belongs to the Labour Party too, long time, because him and Nestor Morgan a good friend. And that man come, but when I do use reverse psychology. So when he come out and I go on like him, but I don't want him really a bun Wayne Marshall, and because him not get it and him vex. So that's what I look for from the Labour government. Some award, he wants some recognition, you know, and this guy is so evil. But anyway, come on for Vegas now, because you know him had the thing. We are talking about this nationwide interview with Rupert Francis. I don't know why I'm going over there, because you see it come out now, that's, you know, because I hear, you know, people are fucking, you know, I threaten, so well then I'm going to burn down your house when you come to Jamaica. And that's a wicked threat because he's an American citizen. And you know, we don't take that lightly. Because we can talk and we can cuss people and talk any type of, well, not any type, but you know, certain word where people might not really find cozy. But sometimes I care zero because you call it freedom of speech. And you have to let off steam sometimes when things reach you and when you see things when they're right and things like that. Some of us deal with it that way. Many are pretty up things and too much intelligent things and things like that. But it's gone too far now. Yeah, man. Because you should never go on this little labor right machine station because they want to ridicule you and things like that. And that them do. And now, you know, you had news that come out now. This guy in a Kirk and Caicos, what place name. So if Jamaica is so good in a Labour Party, why you run away? And that want to do as well. Under that tag. So it's like Andrew, let people Andrew just pay them. And you have a next one again too, you know, where always not green, you know, with some bulb of silver thing on him finger, like a copper, well one clean, thing around him neck and thing like that. And you have different Labour right, and you don't have a proper jewelry around your neck or on your finger, pure wire, copper wire and anyway, people. I don't know, but you know what really hurt me is to see them gone down that road. Say you go burn down. The man do a lot of things. The man used to be in the army, innit? He do a lot of things for Jamaica. Big, intelligent man. I fight with Jamaica, the good of Jamaica, and Triba talk out. And through them know so well him is a real, him a part of, him is the part of the people and what them people respect in the diaspora, right? And I like the people and what them appointed, some little, you know, I don't know what you call them people, fly by shit people with Labour Party appointed, right? This man are the real diaspora. But then because anybody no agree with these people, you know, them just remove them. And that's what Jamaica run down, you know, because you have no people don't get job in Jamaica by the merit of what them can do the job, you know. Them get the job because who them know, and then just move people out of post, all when them is the best for the job, and because them no want them really spill no bean, then put some nastiness in it where will keep them out shut, and then run down the country some more. And that is this Jamaica Labour Party. You know what I mean? If them the sickest stomach, them sick dark stomach people. But what me I say right now upon this, you know, this is gone too far. You got burn down the man house and I disappoint him Rattigan as well. Because him speak the truth and I speak in mind of freedom of speech. But you call him man anytime I word you want to call him upon God earth. But don't go down the line there. The threatening line. I want to see you thing you put yourself in. Believe you me. And you don't even know what you do. Because that's what I'm saying, you know, cock, mount kill cock, you know. So you better watch yourself. Yeah, man. So let's go in this interview and hear what's going on and what are going on. Here goes. Boom.
Protest held this morning by some members of the diaspora. The protest was held in front of the Jamaican consulate in New York City.
The protest was organized by Captain Rupert Francis and attended by Wilfred Rattigan. Both men say they are displeased about issues which they say are plaguing Jamaica and the response of the government.
But a member of the Jamaican diaspora who visited the outskirts of the consulate today and was among a group of Jamaicans who chanted pro-Jamaican slogans, Dr. Clovis Nelson, says the protest organized by Francis was lukewarm. Another Jamaican who identified herself as Chantel, who visited the scene of the protest, also described it as being lackluster.
The anti-Jamaica protest saw a lackluster turnout attributed not only to inclement weather but also to widespread disapproval within our Jamaican diaspora in New York towards such anti-Jamaica demonstration.
That's Chantel, a member of the Jamaican diaspora living in the United States. Meanwhile, the group of protesters, some of whom adorned themselves in the Jamaican flag with the words corruption written on it, were accused by the group of Jamaicans against the protest of betraying the island.
Traitors! 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 Traitors!
Well, there you have it, listeners. Well, joining us to discuss further are member of the Jamaican diaspora, Dr. Clovis Nelson, and head of the Jamaica Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force, Captain Rupert Francis. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Let's start with you, Captain Francis. They said the protest that you held was lackluster. What do you respond in regards to that?
I don't know whoever said that doesn't know the meaning of lackluster. They don't understand it. And of course they'll throw cold water in it when they only had 9 persons there on their side. However, self-praise is no recommendation, but it was a tremendous, tremendous success. And then I can explain why if you wish. When we want to thank the over 350 persons who came there, and they turned out from all parts of Jamaica. The USA, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Right? I also want to thank the many persons who tried to get in and entered the cordon area by the police, and they were turned back because we reached capacity. According to a reporter that was there, a final point I can make on this right now, from the Jamaica Observer, they were told by the police that at that time when they asked, the capacity were 240 persons, and it grew ever since that. So I can't understand how these persons who are on the other side of the aisle could have said that. But of course, anyone who can call me a thug, who knows me, can call me a thug like Clovis Nelson, must know what a thug's life is like. That's all I have to say for now.
What was your objective in organizing this protest?
The objective is the same as we've always been, to bring awareness to the situation in Jamaica. The conditions that are...
To bring awareness to the situation in Jamaica for who? Who are you bringing awareness for?
The Jamaican people.
The Jamaican people who live in Jamaica?
And the world. We would like to...
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Who did you say the Jamaican people were? You said that you're bringing awareness for the Jamaican people.
Yes.
The Jamaican people where?
In Jamaica and the world.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the diaspora, especially.
So what is the nature of your grouse, essentially, in terms of how the government is handling situations here in Jamaica?
Well, the nature of the growth is simple. On December 27th, I wrote a letter to the ambassador outlining the matters that we wanted to be addressed. And the number one thing was the murder rate. The next thing was...
And when you say, let me just ask, when you say the murder rate, Jamaica's had a murder problem for better part of maybe 40 years. Have you organized previous demonstrations under previous administrations?
There was, listen to me, I went down, we met directly with the Minister of National Security at the time. We
Defined at the time.
I'm sorry.
What time?
Yeah, right. The question was, have you organized demonstrations under previous administrations?
There was no need to organize demonstrations because they were willing to listen and work with us in regards to what we were proposing.
So you
no need.
So you believe there's a failing on the part of the Andrew Holness administration, specifically in terms of how their response to crime, or in terms of engaging the diaspora in their response to crime?
Yes, and you know what is also true is that the Minister of National Security, and I think...
I'm sorry. I just want to be clear on the facts, because the facts are that this government has increased the national security budget of the country more than any other. That's a fact. Do you deny that?
Are we talking about budget, or are we talking about people dying, my friend?
No. But what is government's response in that? Government's response has to be a policy response.
Government's response should be leadership of the nation.
And in leadership, you allocate, and I can't think of a more indicative measure of leadership than where the government chooses to spend money. And crime and national security has had a significant spend.
I want to ask you a question. You're asking me questions. I'm asking you what?
Well, I fear I'm the one who asked the questions in the interview. But I must ask you to respond to that. Do you deny that the government has spent more than any other national security?
They may have spent more than any other, but they have had the worst success ever in the history of crime in Jamaica. And I know.
So
because I know I've been following it.
So what exactly?
I remember I've been part of it myself in terms of the government.
So what exactly is it that you would like them to do differently?
I would like them to try, first of all, they start to listen and they start to accept people who have knowledge of the situation and would like to assist them, as we did before, to continue to do that, because it is obvious that it is not being done properly.
Go ahead,
so you believe specifically they're not listening to the diaspora, as in your members, in terms of how to handle a crime problem that, let's be honest, you're quite removed from at the moment?
Let me explain. The name of the
No, I'm sorry. I didn't get to hear an answer to that question, which I think is a very important question.
Yes, I'm gonna answer it.
Okay.
Our name is Jamaica Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force, my brother. I have studied crime. I was in the Jamaica Defense.
As have many people who live in Jamaica. So Siobhan's question is, you are not directly affected by crime. Certainly the government has its advisors, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Commissioner here in Jamaica, the National Security Advisor who was appointed. They have advisors here. So, and you seem to be saying that because you're not being listened to in the diaspora, you're upset?
No, I'm not. I never mentioned the word upset.
Well, you staged a demonstration.
Because people are being killed. I'm upset because people are being killed, and it's not necessary. You know, if somebody goes out and says something about the Prime Minister, my brother, says something about the Prime Minister, they catch him in no time. Why is it that we can't get this to these people who are causing the problems in Jamaica?
Isn't that an oversimplification of the country's national security challenges, though?
What do you mean oversimplification? Are you saying I'm simple?
No. I'm asking you if your characterization of the challenge that we faced over 40 years isn't overly simplistic just now.
It is not overly simple, my friend. It is absolutely not overly simple, because I'm telling you that I take this thing deeply, because we have spent a lot of money on our part as an organization to come down to Jamaica to identify the issues, identify the problems. Right?
I'm telling
you, we started out doing them, and then they stopped.
Captain Francis, we need to bring in Dr. Nelson. They're also on the
Go
line.
ahead,
But,
bring him in.
but I would still like to ask you, crime currently, as in the murder rate, which is the specific issue that most people have a problem with, is currently down by, I believe, 14% since the start of this year. So why is your...
It's not down by 14%.
Come again?
It's not true.
It's not true, but those are what the statistics suggest.
The main problem in Jamaica right now, both here and abroad, our people now come back to Jamaica because them say too much murder go on in the country. The crime out there is real. So whether the Prime Minister want to soften it and make it come like it's a problem, but not a big problem. He might live in a bubble and we hear the government that say murder gone down. I have to laugh when I hear that. Who believe that? Your data can't tell nobody that. Your data can't tell nobody that. The reality is that people scared of the murders we are going on in Jamaica. In the top 5 most murderous countries in the world. And we don't have no civil war on here, so we're in the top 5 most murderous countries in the world without a civil war. Can you imagine if we talk about it take a revolution to bring a solution? What would have happened? Give thanks.
Well, you know, they have said there are lies, damn lies, and statistics. So you take...
But those would be the same statistics that we'd have used to measure crime for the better part of 50 years.
My brother, we have been measuring crime, but we have not been able to measure up on crime. We have not been able to fix the crime.
But we're suggesting, though, that the crime rate, the murder rate specifically, has fallen by 14% since the start of this year.
That's a fact.
It's fallen by 14%, sir. We just checked it the other day. It's down by about 4%. Please go check your facts again.
We're telling you the facts as presented by the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
You're not telling me anything. You're doing the research. I'm doing research, and I happen to be.
So where have you received your information regarding the murder rate? If not from the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
4%.
No, but
where did you get those figures from? Is the question.
My brother, the same place you could get it if you looked.
No, we told you where we got it from. No, we told you where we got ours from. So we're asking you, where did you get yours from?
There are crime statistics throughout the world. Murder by rape.
Yeah, we're speaking specifically about Jamaica, though.
Yes, specifically about Jamaica.
And we're asking you, where did you get your murder stats from?
Yes, I beg your pardon.
Where did you get your murder stats from?
I have already said, I have given you who you need to go and check.
No, you have not. You have not told us. You haven't answered the question. You asked Siobhan.
Why are you trying to make this in a... Why are you trying to add the argument? I know you're a reporter, but your argument...
No, no.
What are you trying
you see, we're trying... All right, let me explain. We're trying to get to the basis of the grouse that you have. You say you don't believe the government has done enough about crime and people dying. I accept you at your word, and that you hold that view in good faith. Siobhan has pointed out to you, on the one hand, I've said to you, one, they've invested more in national security. Siobhan has pointed out to you that the murder rate is falling. You're saying...
Falling. Oh, you know, you didn't say falling. You said falling 14%.
Yes, yes, since the start of the year. And you're saying that's not true.
No, it's about 4%, my brother.
And I'm asking you, where did you come by those stats?
I send you the information by email.
No, you could tell the listeners. I would want the listeners to know.
No, I am telling the listeners, and I'll also tell the listeners as well, and send them the information.
I put it to you that you do not have those stats.
Captain Francis, I have Captain Francis, please, and you may challenge this if you will, but let me point this out. This is from the Jamaica Constabulary Force's website. As of January 1st to May 4, the murder rate is down by 13.1%. So let me correct myself. Not 14%, but 13%. But you are saying it's closer to 4%. Explain where you have now gotten that statistic.
Let me make it quite clear. I do not know what the Jamaica's Constabulary Force website says, but I can guarantee you there are other websites that will contradict that.
Which, like one? Like, give me one. Give me one. Name one.
Yes.
Anyone?
What do you mean name one?
Yes, one of the websites that contradicts it.
My brother, are we talking about websites or are we talking about crime?
We are talking about crime, and we're talking about the statistics as they are presented. You're challenging these statistics.
Clovis can laugh, because it was a laughter today.
Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis.
Oh, boy. wants to be,
Oh,
he
boy.
wants to be a caretaker.
Mr. Francis?
In the Jamaica Labour Party.
Mr. Francis?
He wants to be a caretaker, and that's why he's doing what he's doing.
Mr. Francis?
Because he didn't get it the last time.
All right, Mr. Francis, let me ask you this.
So it's a fraud.
Let me ask you this. You should withdraw that, but let me ask you this.
What?
Is this protest simply an effort on your part to embarrass the Andrew Holness government?
What are you talking about, my friend?
It's yes or no. Was that really your intention?
That is not true, and you and I know that. Just as
No, I don't know that. I'm asking you to tell me whether that was your intention.
that is not your intention.
It was not your
Hold on,
intention.
let me ask you, the press release that they sent out with erroneous information, was it their intention to demonize me at that point? And I have evidence from them how well I was doing and the group was doing.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get your reaction, Mr. Nelson. Dr.
How are
Nelson,
you?
sorry. I'm doing well.
What do you want me to react to?
Well,
that
first
laughable presentation that Dr. Francis just put out there. And as a matter of fact, let me say this, as a matter of protocol, I will relate to Dr. Francis with his title, Dr. Francis.
Yes.
For professional, ethical flow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm expecting the same. Okay? Now, give me a question that you would like me to report to,
Yeah,
to respond to.
so as you saw the protest, what you saw and what you think the aims are. We hear the aims are to bring attention of the global community to the problems plaguing Jamaica.
My reaction to that is simply this. If you have a mission that you believe, is the catalyst that leads you to a foreign country in the middle of the street to be launching and putting on a protest against your country and your government, right? And your protest or your reason does not include or involve the government of these foreign countries in which your protests are being launched, then to me, it means that you have an alternative and not necessarily looking for some kind of assistance from the municipalities in which you are placing your protest. In other words, if you are in the United States and you have a problem with what's going on in Jamaica, and you are seeking attention, the place to go is not in the gutters of New York to drag the Jamaican flag and trample it in the mud to get your attention. The place to go would be to seek out the appropriate municipalities in the United States and lodge your complaint there. To be in the streets of New York, right, trying to embarrass Jamaica means that you have an alternative motive, an ulterior motive, some alternative intention. And I think it's all political.
But Dr. Nelson, certainly as...
You know something? The only person who's been political here...
Hold on, Mr. Francis, because we really haven't heard from Dr. Nelson throughout the interview. But Siobhan, you had a question? Yeah.
Dr. Nelson, certainly as Jamaicans and members of the diaspora, they still have their concerns in terms of how the country is governed. And certainly they would like to use even that avenue as a measure of voicing those concerns. Would you agree that that is fair?
Repeat that question for me.
Would you agree that as members of the Jamaican diaspora, they do have concerns as to how the country should be governed, and utilizing a protest, wherever that protest may be, in whatever country, is a measure by which, or a way by which they now voice those concerns? Would you think that's not fair as being members of the Jamaican diaspora?
Look, everybody has a right to demonstrate or to exercise their democratic, to exercise their democratic rights.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But I am thinking of it from the perspective of a national concern or a concern about a country, and you want to get some attention to this concern.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in the street with your complaint, is that the source through which you think you should go to get some attention?
Which then, let me ask you, Captain Francis, have you, before staging this protest, have you sought audience with the Jamaican government?
We have sought audience with the Jamaican government from day one. Nobody has any alternative motive, except maybe Dr. Nelson.
And what was the response you received from the government?
Absolutely none. We wrote a letter indicating on December 27th, 2023, to the ambassador, to everyone, asking them to address certain concerns.
And when you say address the concern, just help me with that.
The first concern was the murder rate. It was getting out of whack. And we asked them to address that. We asked them to address
No, but when you frame it that way, Captain Francis, you make it appear as if there's been no response to Jamaica's murder rate. And that's the
timing seems peculiar.
It's simply not true.
Let me tell you something. The resources that they said they spent was not well spent and was not in the right direction. I've spoken to the police at all levels. And I'm telling you, that's not all it should have been done.
And you would have spent it where?
There are two gangs in the political parties, the One Order and the Klansmen, and they have no control over them.
In an era where we've never seen so many gangsters brought before the courts?
No. Yes, the Klansman gang. Where's the One Order? That's what Klansman is, the PNP, and the One Order. Where's the One Order? They have not appeared. So you could call it persecution. I don't have a problem. I don't like gangs. We gave them a procedure to assist gangs and reduce gangs. It was offered by Captain Whittingham, a Jamaican in Los Angeles, where they reduced gang violence by 50%.
When you parse it out like that, a political affiliation of gangs, aren't you indirectly accusing the members of the security forces of political bias?
Listen, I never mentioned the members of the police.
Yeah, but they're the ones going after the gangs. They're the ones going after the gangs.
Hold on. Let me say this to you. Yes, of course you have policemen and police, I would imagine. But the majority of them are not that way. I support the police, and they know it. And let me make it quite clear how I support the police. How they treat the police. You remember Constable Donny Anderson, the one who had the liver problem? Right? And so 2.5 years, the Minister of National Security saw her and promised to give her help.
But
she came to the United States.
But Captain Francis,
I was the one on my team who helped her and saved her life for a while. And then when
Captain Francis,
anymore, they sent her back to Jamaica. But what did they do? Let's discuss that.
Captain Francis, I think in further to Ricardo's question, you have essentially put or intimated a suggestion that the government is signaling out a specific politically affiliated gang, wherein it is the duty of the police force to tackle anti-gang. To go after the gangs. So you're essentially intimating that it is the police being political.
Do you know how Jamaica works?
Do you know how Jamaica works?
So do you believe there is some
because I don't understand how you equate the work of the security forces in dismantling gangs to the political affiliation of the gang.
It is obvious you don't know what is happening in Jamaica.
No, so you are suggesting then that there is a political directorate that has given directorship to the JCF to say, okay, you're allowed to go after this gang, but you're not allowed to go after that gang. Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm saying, not even suggesting. I'm suggesting that politics is involved in it. Politics is involved, and until we remove the politics from this issue, we will not be able to resolve it.
I think that's an unfortunate characterization, but I will move on. Why now? Is it because an election is looming?
Listen to me. Let me tell you something. Do you know that I represented the Jamaica Labour Party on
it's a simple question. Is it because an election is looming?
No, I'm answering your question. I'm asking you a question. Yes, I don't know about any elections.
Okay.
This is political. This is about the Jamaican people. Stop making it about the politics. I'm not political.
May I ask a question here?
Go ahead, Dr. Nelson.
I would like to know, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Dr. Francis. Dr. Francis and I used to be very close friends. And I want to think that we are still friends. But my question to Dr. Francis is this. We know that he spent some time as captain in the Jamaica military. And I want to personally applaud him for his service. However, you and I know, or we all know, that the Jamaica military is not a military that has seen combat of any kind. And so for the most part, one could fairly say, we don't have any wars to fight. We've never been to any wars other than it was World War II, where some of the army went to be supportive of the U.S. and British forces, to my recollection. So my question is simply this. Other than a ceremonial title, what qualifications does Dr. Francis have for fighting with regards to crime intervention and prevention?
You know, you have made the most disingenuous statement I've made. Has ever been made. The Jamaica Defense Force has a history of World War II. It has gone to Grenada, gone to Haiti before. Many other incursions in Jamaica. Once the military was working and the police were working together, they had peace and harmony in Jamaica for the most part. Let me also talk about my qualifications. I did a bachelor's in psychology and criminal justice. I have a master's in forensic psychology, and I also did my doctorate in my dissertation about criminology.
But do you accept that there are Jamaicans? Do you accept that there are Jamaicans here who live here who are just as qualified and just as capable to advise the government on national security?
And closer to the situation as well.
My friend, let me make it quite clear. They may be qualified, and I respect everybody you are talking about, and they may be competent, but the fact of the matter is, are they willing to do what is necessary to resolve the crime and violence in Jamaica against the Jamaican people?
And I put it to you that the people who live here are so prepared.
Are what?
They are so prepared.
Let me tell you something, man.
But the fact that the Minister of National Security rejected your letter, or the Minister of Foreign Affairs rejected your letter.
The government must allow them to do what as they would allow the Integrity Commission to do their work.
And have you had suggestions from the JCF that they are not being allowed to do their job?
They're not being allowed to do their job.
How so?
I am telling you categorically, they're not.
Give an example. How so?
What? Look at what they did. Look at what they did to the former chairman of the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
So a disciplinary matter against the former chairman amounts to them blocking the JCF from doing their job?
No, Captain Francis. No.
Do you have another question? Do you have another question for me?
I do have a question for you, Dr. Nelson. All things considered, though, would you consider it a bit imprudent for you to be yelling and shouting traitor at your fellow Jamaican because they have expressed dissatisfaction with the handlings of the government?
Say that again.
Would you consider it a bit imprudent to be yelling and shouting traitor at your fellow Jamaican because they've expressed some dissatisfaction with the government?
The yelling of traitor by the group that I call Patriotic Jamaicans was a sporadic and reactive response that I could not have controlled or put a stop to. Now, being Jamaicans on the ground, if you look at the significance of that expression, the people who were standing up for Brand Jamaica had their own levels of frustration. If you know the amount of control measures that I try to do to get people to act within a certain manner of principle and discipline, you would understand. And so when they started shouting traitor, there was nothing I could do about that. But I get your point. Jamaicans...
No, hold on. May I say something?
Hold on, let him finish the point. No, hold on, let him finish the point. Let's let him finish the point and then... Go ahead, Dr.
Jamaicans on a whole, we have to get to that point where we learn to behave, in a more civil kind of a way against or towards each other. I will agree with that. But as I said earlier, the people out there making their point and expressing themselves choose their language, choose their method of expression.
Mr.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mr. Navarrete, listen, let me say this to you. We lead by example. And I'm saying to you, he called us thugs before, and I was part of that thuggery. He called. We never called them any names today. No names at all. We told him not to. We told him to ignore them, all 9 of them. Okay? And I'm saying to you, it is wrong, and he must accept that it is wrong. And he knows it's not true. Clovis knows it's not true. It's disingenuous. And I'm saying to
what is not true? What is it that I know is not true?
You know that we are not thugs. You know that we did not go over any harm. We're singing, we're lamenting, we're doing things out there to improve our country, and we're not destroying Grand Jamaica.
Dr. Francis, if I may take you on that. Your behavior and that of your team or your group, and I want to talk about those bloggers who are behaving as if they are earning a salary for doing what they're doing. You people need to come to the realization that you are indeed trying to embarrass your government and drag your country's flag in the gutters of the international sphere. There's no doubt about that. And as I said earlier,
let me
finish my point.
Hold on, Captain Francis. Hold on. Captain Francis. Hold on.
As I said earlier, the government of Jamaica, let me say this, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is not subjected to accept anything that you and your team might want to present to them. And when they fail to accept it, you go out there with a tantrum like 2-year-olds and try to drag the Jamaican flag in the gutters across the globe. That is where the problem is with me. Let me finish my point, please.
Let him. We will allow you, Captain Francis. Let him finish.
When you're talking. I don't disturb you when you're talking. So don't disturb me when I'm speaking. I am trying to tell you where I stand with regards to all of this. Think whatever you may, but Clovis Nelson is for Brand Jamaica, irrespective of the spins that might be circling around Brand Jamaica. Whatever political issues you and your team might have, whatever Christ-like solution you think you have for crime and corruption in Jamaica, that is within you. But do not take the national emblem and trample over it in the streets of Manhattan. I will not support that. I will be anti that in every sense, and that is where I stand.
Can I say something to his rant right now?
Go ahead.
I would like to know how much you're being paid to do what you're doing. Because it's obviously you're being paid. Because you're not speaking for the ministry.
You know something, Captain Francis. Let me respond to that.
All right. I'm going to call time because we're out of time. But let me ask this final question to you, Mr. Francis. You talk about the crime situation. You know one of the drivers, one of the things that drives the crime situation in Jamaica, the illegal guns that flow from the United States into Jamaica. Can we expect a protest against that?
We do not support any illegal guns.
No, man, I understand that, but I'm saying, can we get a protest to urge the U.S. Congress to do more to stem that?
Absolutely. We will do anything we can. And what I would like to say is that what Dr. Nelson just said is
all right. So I put it to you. I put it to you that if we're serious about the crime situation, that may be a helpful way members of the diaspora.
Let me respond to that.
No. That would be helpful for members of the diaspora.
No, Dr. Nelson.
Let me respond to that question. Since he's beating around the bush. When you go out there in the streets of New York and Miami to protest and to try to disgrace Jamaica on the national forum, that is exactly what your conversation should be around. How we can ask the U.S. government to intervene. I am speaking.
Gentlemen, we're out of time. We're out of time.
You have not on a stage and you want to be in the Labour Party.
All right, we're out of time.
Tell the people the truth.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. Member of the Jamaican Diaspora Council, Dr. Clovis Nelson, head of the Jamaica Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force, Captain Rupert Francis. After the break,
We have the Minister of Information, Robert
Oh, we're
Morgan.
not taking the break. No.
Oh,
Okay.
we're going straight to
Okay.
the Minister of Information, Robert Morgan. Good evening, Minister.
Good evening, Minister.
Good evening. I cannot say that I would get.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Say that
Minister.
again.
I cannot say I would get treated, but I wish to add some clarity to some of the statements that were made.
Please.
So, I don't know if you're aware, and it was previously on your program, that several years ago we were engaged by members of the diaspora. I think it was under Minister Montague, and the engagement was pretty fruitful. And they made several suggestions, some of which were implemented in Time Secure Jamaica and several other policy approaches that the government sought to engage. Not all of their suggestions were accepted, but some were. So it is not correct to say that the government did not accept the suggestions of Mr. Francis and his team. The fact of the matter is, however, is that in the whole issue of crime and crime fighting, there are going to be diverse perspectives and views, which people are entitled to. But we are very competent, very capable individuals, well-trained, trained internationally, in collaboration with our partners in the United States, in Canada, and Britain, who also have knowledge and expertise in crime fighting. And
Well, Mr. Francis seems to think that they're not giving the right advice.
I don't know. Mr. Francis is entitled to his position, but you are seeing the fruits of the work, not just of the government executive, but also a whole ecosystem of persons who are a part of the national security infrastructure. I'll give you an example. Mr. Francis speaks about the money not going the right place, and you see that in his letter. When we became government, we realized very quickly that the issue of border security was of paramount importance. We had inherited a situation where the Army only had one mid-range patrol vessel. Currently, I think we have bought about 7 new vessels, which is one of the important tools that we use to reduce the entrance of contraband into the country, such as firearms and drug trafficking.
So better policing of the borders.
Better policing of the borders. Additionally, there was a deficit in the whole forensic aspect of the security forces. We invested a lot of money in a new forensic lab where gunshot residue, DNA, and all of those things can be examined. And you have seen in cases in the court where a lot of science is being used by the prosecution, by the police investigators to deal with crime. The other issue we speak about is gang violence. There's never been a time in the history of Jamaica that so many persons have been convicted under the anti-gang legislation.
We put that to Mr. Francis. Did you hear his response?
He suggested that you are doing it only in one direction.
A politically motivated attempt.
And that's something I want to address as well.
Yes.
Remember, we passed a law many years ago that separated the operational functions of the police force from the political directorate. So it is actually illegal for Dr. Horace Chan to call the commissioner of police and say, go there or prosecute that person. That is even before this administration, under the previous PNP administration, that wasn't done, and it's not done. And there are 2 letters that they sent. They sent a press release on the 10th of May with a whole slew of accusations against the country and the government. And even you in your newsroom, if you go through it, you'll realize that a large percentage of the things that Mr. Francis is accusing the government and the country of is false, right? And I think it's a disservice to the work, not of the government, but of so many Jamaicans who have toiled. If you look at the anti-corruption framework, we passed the law in 2018 to make the Integrity Commission a reality. We have funded the Integrity Commission as much as they wish. They are now over $1 billion. You have never heard any accusation of the government interfering with the work of the Integrity Commission. All the reports have been tabled, and where the Integrity Commission has suggested sanctions against individuals, people have resigned, people have lost their jobs, people have gone before the court. So there's no question that this government has been one of the most anti-corrupt since independence. And it's not us saying it. If you look at Transparency International rankings and you look at the trend over the last 2 decades, it is this government that has had the best anti-corruption ranking. This government has no employees at Transparency International. It's an independent entity. And I think the challenge we're having with Mr. Francis and whoever else is associated with him in these matters, as while they do have a right to protest, they do not have a right to mislead the public. And I think a large percentage of the things that they're saying are misleading the public.
Let me ask you, do you think it's politically motivated?
I think there is aspects of politics in it. There are various actors associated with them. They have regular blogs online where political activists are a part of their team. And there are also individuals in their cohort who have had engagement in the court, including myself, against the government. And I don't really want to go into that aspect of it. But anybody who looks at the overall picture, I don't know if Dr. Francis personally is political, but there is a clear political tinge to a lot of what I see them doing. Dr. Francis is not the only actor that exists. He may be the spokesperson, but there are several other persons who are well known within the diaspora as political activists who are participating in this whole endeavor that they're seeking to do.
Minister Morgan, according to Mr. Francis, we can't trust our lying eyes. Has there been some change in how the JCF reports?
Can I just say, I find this trend, and it's not a trend, of questioning these statistics very, very dangerous. I think we're skating in dangerous territory as a country when we're seeking to discredit the official statistics put out by the principal crime-fighting agency in Jamaica. I find it deplorable, I have to say, and very, very dangerous. It's not the first time I've heard it suggested, and for him to blatantly say it now makes me very uncomfortable.
So I put it to you, Mr. Morgan. Have we changed how these statistics are reported since 2016?
No, we have not. And the same persons, most of them who did the statistics in 2011, 2012, 2013 are the same persons there. But there's a bigger problem, Ricardo. The group that Mr. Francis is associated with says they are interested in accountability and good governance and all of that. You do not bring good governance in a society by undermining its institutions. When Dr. Francis comes on your program, and even in his letter, his press release, undermines the integrity of public servants who are non-political, because their findings do not align with the narrow interests of his group. He accuses them of dishonesty. He accuses them of corruption. He accuses them of incompetence because their findings, he's saying crime murders are down 4%, but the internationally recognized and accepted statistical standard used by the JCF says it is down by 13%. By saying that the statistics are wrong, you're basically saying that the JCF is corruptly deflating the statistics. And that undermines institutions. So you lose your credibility because what you're doing, you're not trying to build Jamaica. What you're doing is you're actually trying to undermine the institutions that are there to protect and build the country for your own narrow ends.
Thank you so much for your time, Minister. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
Not a problem. It makes me uncomfortable. I heard it suggested before in a very roundabout
and from people
way.
I wouldn't expect to have made the suggestion.
And now to hear it being blatantly said, I agree. Discrediting institutions is not the way to achieve political power. Because if you burn it all down, remember, you have to then inherit the situation.
And you see it not only in matters of crime, you see it in terms of statistics coming from the
Absolutely.
PIOJ, from Statin,
It's
where
a very, very dangerous practice. Because even if you achieve the power that you want, remember, these are the same institutions
will have to work with.
You'll have to work with. And if you've discredited them, the same knife will stick the sheep, I will stick the goat.
A big sound, I play a big tune. Jah holy Emmanuel, I woy. Jah Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. Well, Gideon go busting out them head again. So much oppression poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther and the ancient monarchy where come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from me tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. Well, the Gideon go busting out them head. I listen, I see, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we know war, no devil philosophy. Not until color of man's skin is abnormal, significant well to the color of his eye. Remember all the war done in 1935.
This is Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gargan. Good, healthy food with the X Factor. So give it a like, share, subscribe, and touch up that notification bell. And that is it. Look at